Time to move on and talk to you guys about IPL qualification scenarios. It's that time of year where we all want to know who's going to be making the top four. Finally, and luckily, from an RCB perspective, their fans don't need the calculators, at least not at this stage when we're recording at this moment in time. So, speaking of RCB, let's start with them, boys, and see how it pans out. The maximum they can get to Akshay is 22 with the 3 games left. And everyone's saying, oh, it's bottom fodder with LSG, SRH, and KKR. But of course, you can't take the eye off the ball. So, 3 points we need to be pertaining to. RCB are in pole position with 16 points, needing just one more win to confirm a playoff spot, as 18 points is typically a safe threshold. Point two, with 2 wins, RCB could secure a top 2 finish for Qualifier 1, potentially reaching 20 points, especially with their strong net run rate. And finally, even with only 16 points, RCB could qualify with other results favoring them, but 2 wins ensure certainty without relying on KKR. Akshay, I'll come to you on this. RCB, through for you, really simple put.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So far, so good from them, but they will be looking to, get that top 2 qualification, something they've been speaking about time and time again across the last 2-3 games. You've heard the think tank, players themselves talk about how it's important for them to finish there. And I would imagine 20 points would help them seal that, because more often than not, or rather, never have I ever seen a team secure 20 points and not finish in the top 2. I don't think it's ever happened. But this season, in a lot of ways, has been a season of firsts, and I won't be surprised if this is also a season where we see 3 teams, at 20 points or above, and still not being able to make it to the top 2, because the bottom dwellers unfortunately have not been able to have any say whatsoever, and on top of that, none of them are going to be playing each other going forward. So I won't be surprised if a scenario like that also pops up. So RCB will want to just not be complacent and take every game as it comes. If anything, in my head, I don't know if I would imagine there's a lot of bias, but I feel it's a lot more difficult to beat bottom ranked teams in this stage, at this stage of the tournament, because these are the ones who have nothing to lose, so they come a lot more harder at you. There's a lot more freedom, and that potentially ends up leading to the bigger teams' downfall. So we see a lot more upsets happen in the latter half of the tournament, so don't be surprised if we see something like that.
Yeah, like that graphic showed, maximum that can get is 22 points, which will be history in a way, because I think only 2 or 3 teams have done that in the course of the IPL history. Let's move on to the second team I want to talk about, and I'll get Nick's attention on them, which is Punjab. Remember, this is still a 6-horse race for those top 4 spots, so anything can give. PBKS, Nick's, because we did see them on Sunday night, and they did get those precious 2 points. The maximum they can get is 21 because of that rain-curtailed encounter in KKR. Now, how do you think it's going to ebb and flow for them? And more importantly, their matches against direct competitors, DCMI, that 3rd point, are critical. So do you think that can dictate their fortune?
Yeah, it very well could. I think 2 games might dictate the entire table. That is MIGT and PBKS match, PBKS MI, because of course it will decide for MI, but it also gave PBKS and GT that much room. PBKS, I think, I'm not worried about their NRR, because I think they have a good enough pointer there, where the difference is because they are differently pointed. Because of that washout, it gives them a good state. And 2 winning from 3 games, and you think they can do it. But yeah, see, they have been high variance. So they started very well at Dharamshala. If they can continue to do the same thing that they did yesterday, I think they will be far better placed. So let's see. I think PBK's MI might be one of that knockout games. Who knows, potentially.
I hope it's a Dharamshala thriller for the ages, and it's going to be a super game for that. And Prop Simran and Arshdeep doing well. So look, the Punjabis will be in full force. Let's move on to Punjab to MI then, Akshay, because if you look at their qualification scenarios, it's straightforward, but nothing straightforward in this league. Sorry for the cliche, but it's true. Now, they need 1 win to reach, of course, 16 points, which is likely for a playoff spot, given their best net run rate in the league. But again, it comes down to the similar question I asked Nick's. MI do play the other players in this particular tournament who are battling for top 4. So how do you think it's going to swing for the MI Pulton?
With MI, that's fair, right? Because Punjab, Delhi and Gujarat, all 3 of them themselves are playoff contenders. So you're not going to have it any easy. And I'm expecting them to be able to win at least one of those games. But that alone would not be enough. They would want to at least get to 16 points right now. If I'm not wrong, they are at 12 points, right? 6 No, they are
14.
at 14 points, 7 wins. Yeah, 7 wins and 4 losses. They wouldn't want to go more than 6 losses in the tournament because 6 losses matlab 8 wins, which means 16 points. So they cannot afford to lose more than 2 games. That is me being very optimistic if I were an MI fan. If I'm being very strict, then they'll have to win at least 2 out of these 3 games to ensure that they are there and thereabouts. Because they've got such a high net run rate, they've got the best net run rate across any team in the tournament. 2 wins at 18 points, in all likelihood, they will be able to make it through unless that one loss is like a massive, 200 run loss. If that doesn't happen, if they take care of that, 18 points should suffice, which means for a playoff finish, they will want to get at least 2 more wins. For a top 2 finish, they will be looking at 3 wins. But even then, given that Gujarat if they have 3 wins, that means Gujarat loses. So yeah, I'm expecting Mumbai to qualify top 2 if they get 3 out of 3 in the remaining games.
And knowing how they operate, you wouldn't put it past them. It's seriously daunting to the other teams as well. Now, they play, of course, GT on Tuesday night, where we're going to be doing fan camps. Check that out. So I'll come to Knicks and their qualification. And Shubman Gill and Ashish Nehra well know in front of them what is required. They have 4 games left, Knicks. They stand in 14 points, and they can do a 22 as well, right? So they can afford to lose one, dare I say. But how do you look at it for them?
Yeah, I think for GT, I don't think it is that hard. Again, kudos to their start to have 14 points in any which ways, given how we all predicted them to be, is any which way is a very good spot. And they have 4 games left. And the good thing is they're also playing in the later half. 14th or 18th is when they are playing their last 2 games, and they will be knowing more or less what they need to do to ensure they get a top 2 finish. At this point of time, it would take an absolutely loss of complete form for the top 3 for them to not make the playoffs. I think playoffs looks fairly settled for GT. Is a top 2 finish, and with at this point of time, I think they should get 2 wins, which means they will be at 18, and their run rate is also good enough. So I feel that MI GT game might be the one that could decide the top 2, then not necessarily the top 4, but the top 2, because if MI win that game also, then GT has to ensure Lucknow or Chennai ke samne no masti. You just have to go out there and win those games.
I think you mentioned 2 excellent points there, and you guys should remember this if you guys are listening to us, because he said they'll exactly know on May 18th what is required. I think that is a critical point, 1. And 2, Tuesday night, tomorrow, MIGT will dictate top 2 in one way, shape, or form. So, again, excellent analysis from Nick. So let's finish off the last 2 teams. I'll give Akshay DC then, because they're, of course, taking part in today's game. And I don't know what's going to be the result of this. So, of course, if you guys are watching this on Tuesday or Wednesday, hold easy in the comments. So let's see what their qualification scenario pose, Akshay. They can only go to 20 points. And all be fair, let's see if they lose today. So that becomes 18 points. How do you take it forward to them? Because they are, of course, going to still be playing Punjab and GT.
It's not going to be easy, man. It's definitely not going to be easy because, like I said earlier, DC were probably looking at this game as that game where they can probably get those 2 points and then, sort of try and take that momentum going forward. The way they've started this game, I don't know if they are able to, conjure a victory out of nowhere, similar to how they lost to RCB. Then it can also have a double effect of it motivating the team, because we have it in us to win it from anywhere. So I still think all's not lost. They would be backing the likes of Stubbs, Vipraj and all to take it from here. Firstly, secondly, can they still make it? I do believe that DC have it in them to make it, because of the sheer quality of options they have in their lineup. It will be very unfortunate, and I think IPL will be poorer without DC in the playoffs. I'll go as far as to say that, because they have been one of the better sides. So I hope that they are able to get their act together. But yeah, coming to the matches, where it's the fact that they will be playing the likes of MI and Punjab, in their for their last 2 fixtures. That's where I think it's going to not be any easy. And again, it's going to be at home versus MI, and it's going to be away in Dharamshala. Oh, both are away.
Both are away. They have GT at home in the midst of that. So it's going to be a real tough ask. Anyway, I mean, let's see how it goes. You guys can let me know in the comments as well.
Sorry, I think they'll actually prefer playing away because they've had no clue of how to win at home. So they would actually prefer playing away.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, let me come to the last team, because there are, of course, the small matter of KKR, who could go to 17 points. Let's get their qualification scenario out, because apologies, Chennai fans, Hyderabad fans, and RR fans, you guys are eliminated from this year's tournament. But KKR, next, Talk to me. I mean, they're really relying on other teams to do them favors. They need to win their own games and some tricky games as well, especially RCB away.
Yeah, I think that RCB game, again, the good thing is it's there on 17th. Again, you have to remember that it plays a massive part when the scenarios are sorted for you. Okay, how do you have to go about it? I think the next game, the next two games, both Chennai and SRH, you would expect them to get those 4 points. Which once they do that, they'll be on 15. I just hope it doesn't come down to that stupid chase that they lost. Because if they lose out by 2 points, dude, that 112 run chase is going to haunt them for life. But I still feel they are a team that can benefit from all of these khichdi up top. That if people keep beating each other and they keep everybody around 18, then if they win that all three, because they are playing such sides, they could sneak in. So, but again, they will need at least only not more than three teams to have be on 18. So plenty of maths and calculators out. That's okay. Good to have different teams using calculators this year.
It seriously is. I mean, as RCB fans, I don't think you guys will have to worry. But again, anything can happen. Anyone can be fitting anywhere in that top four. Let us know in the comments who's going to be making that top four.
Cricket, cricket, cricket.